Hi, I'm Phil Cooke, and today we're going to talk about something a little different. I call it Don't Tell Me Your Life Story. You know, so many people I've run into recently are having trouble getting heard. They're having trouble pitching an idea to someone. Maybe they're trying to reach an investor, a donor. They're pitching their idea. Maybe it's a film, maybe it's a nonprofit outreach or a ministry outreach, and they're not getting anywhere. In fact, I had lunch the other day with a guy that said, I just can't get people to return my calls. He said, I have one short conversation with them and that's it. I'm not getting anywhere. And so if that's you, I want to give you some ideas for how to make sure you connect with people. I mean, senior level leaders are busy. Let's go into it with that understanding. Senior level leaders are very, very busy. They don't have a lot of time. So let's not start with telling your life story. I have a saying that, when I start hearing somebody's, if somebody starts talking to me and the conversation begins with their childhood, I know we're in real trouble. So, nobody cares about your childhood. I'm sure it's a wonderful childhood. It may be a stressful childhood. Maybe if that childhood was traumatic and that's the genesis of your project, maybe that would be the time to talk about it. But the point is, we need to get to the point quickly because most of the people you're going to be pitching to, if they're influential, if they have funding, if they have financial resources, are just simply going to be busy. So here's the rule. Start with the idea. Get right into it. Don't tell me how I got here. Don't tell me where I've come with my life. Don't tell me where I'm from. Unless they specifically ask you some of those questions, go right to the idea. We talk about elevator pitches a lot in Hollywood. And an elevator pitch, as you probably know, is if you happen to get in an elevator with a studio head going up 1, 2, 3 floors, in that amount of time, could you pitch him or her your idea in a way that would make them realize, wow, I've got to partner with this guy. I got to make this movie. So it's like an elevator pitch, and we want it to be clear and to the point. So we start with the idea, and the thing to remember is clarity. Clarity. I would really encourage you to practice any pitching you do. Even if you're, I wrote a blog post at philcooke.com, my blog, recently about how to have an elevator pitch for your life. Elevator pitches aren't just for pitching projects. They're for helping you navigate your life and get to the next level in your career. And so I think starting with a short, to the point idea, being really clear. Remember, clarity is incredibly important. We don't want to wander off on rabbit trails. And then the next thing to remember is, tell me why it matters. Why does it matter that this movie gets made? Why does it matter that this project gets done? Why does it matter that we really launch this dream of yours? Because I keep going back to the fact that decision makers are overloaded. They've got other things to do. They're probably on their way to some other meeting. And if you can't connect with them quickly, you're going to fail. So I really urge you to practice. Stay at home, get on a video like this, turn on your camera, and just start pitching. Practice to a camera and then go back and review it because it will help you be clear. It'll help you understand if you're saying and and those filler words that can really kill your message. And the reason practice is important is it builds confidence. And confidence builds influence and it builds clout. You need to have confidence going in, not the false confidence of some guys I've seen that are simply just terrible at doing this. They're just not good at it. But I'm talking about the confidence of knowing your material, knowing your pitch, knowing how to make it short and sweet and get it to the point, and then the confidence of just being able to walk in and own the room. Own the room. So before your next presentation, before your opportunity to talk to somebody, whether it's on the phone or in person, I think just answer the question, what's your core idea? And can you share it in 1 or 2 sentences? 1 or 2 sentences, that at least opens the door. And if that person wants you to go further, they'll ask. But don't automatically take over and assume you're just going to be there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. If you can lead with the point you're trying to make, why it matters, and have it with confidence, I think you can make a big difference. Trust me, you'll stand out, you'll get your phone calls returned, and you'll start getting responses that could change the direction of your life. And remember, a lot of this comes from my book, Ideas on a Deadline: How to Be Creative When the Clock is Ticking. I talk a lot about this in that book because we need to be able to activate those moments anytime. That's the whole idea behind an elevator pitch. You just randomly happen to walk into an elevator with somebody who can make your dream happen. You need to be ready. You need to be ready. So I'd encourage you to get my book, Ideas on a Deadline: How to Be Creative When the Clock is Ticking, because it's under pressure that really counts. When you're under pressure, can you pitch your idea? Is it clear? And does it connect with that funder, that studio head, that producer, whoever, whatever the project is? So today's podcast, just a quick reminder that clarity wins. Don't take over. Don't just assume that person is going to be there forever. You need to be quick, to the point, be clear, have the confidence you need to do it. And if you could do that, I think you'll make a huge difference in every pitch, every conversation, every relationship you develop.